Wow. Okay. Okay, Lawlers, welcome to a gameplay commentary. Today we're going to be playing Twisted Fate. We recently just did a guide, a beginner's champ guide for Twisted Fate. So if you watch that and you were looking for a little bit more information, this will be good. If you just want to see some cool gameplay and maybe have a little bit more in-depth commentary on what I would be thinking while I'm playing this champion and what maybe you should be thinking, then this could also be a good video. I look to do a few of these in champion guides as well on all kinds of champs in the game, so if you enjoy this or the other champion guides, definitely feel free to subscribe and check out some more. So first ability I'm going to learn here is my W. We're against the Varus in lane, which is someone who can shoot us at range, so we're going to have to watch out for that. Generally with Twisted Fate, what we're looking to do is focus on our last hits when we can, just get as much gold as possible. If we have a chance to poke him, I will look to do that, but for now, if he lets us farm for free, I'm going to take that. Oh, sorry, it's not a Varus. I forgot there's a Nico on that team, so this is actually a Nico we're playing against, which means that she will have some ability to stun us and burst us as well. So in terms of champs, you'd always want to kind of see your strengths and weaknesses in lane. I'd say we're probably about the same distance mage and probably the same burst, at least initially. It might change depending on the items that we get, but for now it's pretty similar. So let's see here. My runes are a little bit different than what I might take. We took a Doran's ring off the start here, and we're just going to use our Q to try and get those last hits and potentially poke her out. I'm going to use my Q to poke her when I can, when she's going for a last hit on a minion. Right now I'm just going to let it push in a little bit more. I don't really want to take a bad trade if I don't have to. She took a turret shot for that. So as Twisted Fate, if you can really get the lane to freeze on this part of the lane for you, that'll be amazing. You can see we got that poke there on her, which is great. We're going to get ready to hit this cannon minion. I'm not too concerned about like locking in an exact card when I don't have to. Twisted Fate is actually a little bit tough to farm under turret if you're trying to lock in an exact card. Usually sometimes you just press WW and get any kind of card and do what you gotta do. So she's playing quite aggressive on us. You can see she's always stepping up. I'm fine with that because I'm confident I can dodge her, and also just use my ability to last hit with my Q and my passive here and see if we can kind of just get to level 6. Really, that's all we're looking to do against this lane. She's running teleport, so she's not running ignite, which is good, but yeah, just looking to mostly just farm up here. Use our Q to try and get that poke off and get a last hit whenever you can. Try and merge them together. We might eat some damage there. So when a gank's coming like this, then we can really get aggressive here. We'll flash this too. And there we go. So that's a basic combo you can use for gank assist with Twisted Fate, is the flash gold card. Really popular to do that, and it also gives you a great chance to help out your jungler with the gank assist and make sure you get the kill. So it's a little bit of a bully lane. You could tell when Nico was playing us there. It was not the greatest opportunity for us to kind of trade. She deals a little bit more damage and has the ability to stun us through other minions, so it's kind of tough. But, you know, you let the lane push in, you do what you can in terms of getting last hits, and we honestly didn't do that great of a job doing last hits. And you kind of just get your gold off your passive, and you come back and you buy the items, and you get to Rod of Ages, and then you just try and use your ult around the map. I mean, that's really it. If you're really outskilled compared to your opponent, or you've built up a good base of knowledge with TF in terms of trading patterns and damage, you can probably look to be a little bit more aggressive. But in general, you're just looking to farm up, let the wave push into you. If a gank comes, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then you just go and roam around the map with your ultimate after. So we're going to look to use our Q as always, just to make sure we grab some of those last hits. And wow, that hitbox. And poke her if we can. We're going to try and make sure we use our blue card to keep our mana topped up here, because I want to make sure we can ult now. Okay, so she ran away from us there when we had our gold card out, which is fine. but we want to make sure we grab this cannon. Yes. Okay. Alright, so now that we have our ult, I'm looking around the map to see if there's a spot that we can use it to maybe grab a kill. Probably can't use it bottom. I know our volley bear is going towards the dragon now, so that's a possibility. If he sees the enemy champion at dragon, we might be able to help him out there. But really, I'm kind of zoning in towards our top lane right now. There's a fight going on up there. So if that continues, we're going to start to move. Yeah, so even if she doesn't get the kill there, we're definitely going to go in on this and we're going to grab it. So I'm going to press my W to grab my gold card, and we're going to go right in here. And we're just going to get out. So we use that there just because I wanted to make sure we got the kill, get us a little bit ahead. Our Nico's missing now from mid lane. I don't know where she is, so we'll ping that. But that also gives Aurelia a little bit of breathing room here to shove that tower in, or that minion wave into the tower, hopefully, and we grab the kill. So that's a little bit of extra gold. It gets us towards our Rod of Ages a little bit faster. This is probably Nico here in the middle. She's waiting to stun us and combo us off with a little bit of a burst. She got it off, which is actually really good for her. So what I want to do now, really, I don't really have an ultimate anymore. I got about 1,000 gold, so I just want to make sure I farm up as good as I can, and then see if we can get back and buy that Rod of Ages. So she's playing pretty far up, which means that this is where you want to look to use your Q to get to grab those last hits on important minions like that, and maybe grab some poke. If she's playing that aggressive, honestly, like, she does a better job bursting us out right now, especially she has ult, which is a, I guess that you could call it an in-combat, in-lane ultimate. It will help her in this lane. Really, right now, I'm a whole ability down because I have already used my ult to impact top lane. So if we can get poke off like that, that's great. We'll do that. Now her stun is down, so I can be aggressive and come grab these last hits there. And then we have volley coming in here. So we'll just look to kind of poke her out with Q there again. Again, you can see I'm not looking for big all-in trades. I'm looking to last hit as my main priority. I'm looking to poke when I can with my Q. We'll keep our mana topped up here. And anytime she kind of moves into us, I just kind of move away. Like, I don't want anything to do with having to fight her with her crowd control that can go through my minions. So just try and dodge it out here. Right? You can see she's running Glacial Augment, which is, you know, Glacial Augment, so it's going to slow us down every time she auto-attacks us, which isn't really nice. Like, I'm not going to win any all-in trades with her in lane here until I get pretty far ahead by killing other people. So we're just focused on getting these last hits. Using our Q and W when we can. And should be enough to buy the Roa now, 1,700. Yep, we're good to go. So we're going to rock back to base here, pick that up, and then our ultimate is back up again in just over 30 seconds. So we are going to try and influence the map somewhere else with that ultimate soon. Bottom is doing a great job winning lane. Generally, you'd want to use your ultimate if you can to help a winning lane win even harder. Just because if you ult to a winning lane and another person shows up, you probably will win the 2v2 if that lane's already ahead. So generally that's what you look to do here. Okay, so I can't ult to this because I still have 10 seconds, but I am going to run straight over here and snag that Q. We're going to follow her up here. She doesn't flash, we might be able to kill her. She caught us with that stun there. I do have a flash ignite, so if she gets cheeky here... not quite. She flashed, actually. That was a really good flash by her to get out of the distance. I was going to follow that up with a few more autos and an ignite if she didn't flash away from that. I honestly didn't think she had flash anymore because she was running away from that 1v2 for the longest time. But this is actually too bad for us because our Q, even though it doesn't do more damage than her Q poke, the fact that she's that low, I mean, if she eats one or two of these, that's not going to be good for her. And the fact that we have Roa means I can also heal a little bit. So I'm actually comfortable to stay here. She's got no flash. I almost got her on that one. So we're just going to grab some mana so we can keep throwing these Qs. I'm going to be pretty liberal with them. Like, I'm not even waiting for her to go for a last hit. I'm just, like, firing them. Because if even one of them hits in, like, a random fish, it's going to deal some damage. So you can see there. Ooh, we got her on that one too. So she's definitely recalling right now. I'm looking top to see if we can ult here. I can't really ult into that. You can see our Aurelia was 1-on-1 before that, so she wasn't like losing lane, but she wasn't really winning it that hard either. So I probably will look to use this maybe even for a dive bot here, or if our jungler runs into Kha'Zix, I might ult to get to that Kha'Zix. But slowly right now I'll start heading towards bot lane if there's a dive here with this minion wave. I'm going to ward my butt here on the way out just to see if Nico's going to follow. If anything here, if they go out right now and this isn't warded, I can jump in behind them. Our volley did find Kha'Zix. I wish I was up there now, actually. I'm going to slowly start running up here, but he's probably dead. Yeah. Unlucky. It's not going to always happen, you know, where you walk towards the right side of the map. Right now our ultimate range really isn't the biggest, so I can't just ult anywhere on the map, unfortunately. But back to normal Twisted Fate things, which is farming and looking for ults when it's up. So we know Kha'Zix just killed our jungler up here, so I'm going to walk up a little bit and see if he is potentially doing this rift. He is not. So that's good. Alright, there's some action going on bot here. This is definitely when we want to look to get in here, so I'm going to lock in a gold card and get over here. Help this guy out. Okay, good. Volley ended up being there anyway, so that's fine. We were going to get that anyway. I was thinking about ulting onto the Varus, but I thought it might be better just to make sure we got that Leona. In all honesty, I didn't see the volley bear coming down there. So we'll help him do this. This is a little bit more important, I feel, than making sure we grab that mid-wave farm. It's not like we're at risk of losing mid-turret right now. It still was at full plates, and I'm doing pretty good with my items in terms of having a full row already. So, I mean, I'm okay to sacrifice a few waves or a wave for a dragon. And especially if that meant grabbing that Leona bot lane. So we'll just try and use our Roa advantage here. Oh, we almost got her with that. So if you don't know when to back when you're playing Twisted Fate and you just feel like because you can use your W to refill your mana and continue poking, what you want to try and do is look for a full push on a minion wave. You can use a red card to push it in a little bit faster, like this. And then, I mean, if you have 1,500 gold, just get back to base once you push in and buy, especially if your ultimate's not up. Like, really, you're not going to do that much in lane, playing against a champ that can maybe burst you out, so just jump back. You can have some fun with the different items that you can build here. I'm going to actually build into some magic pen boots, and I'm going to try and build into a Lichbane second item. I like the moving speed it gives and a little bit more of that burstiness with the ability power and also with the sheen proc on your auto attack. So I like to build that as a second item after Roa, because Roa gives us some pretty good tank stats anyway, so we can afford a little bit more burst and a little bit more movement speed with the other one. So we're all up in a minute, so we'll look to use that again where we can, but back to TF things, which is farming and pushing waves so we can start to rotate top, bottom if we need to. So our Q, you can see now, is pretty good at pushing, so we can combine it with our red card off the W and get some good wave clear. Grab that. That should prevent Nico from really running around too much, unless she wants to miss a bunch of minions off of that, and that lets us kind of roam with our volley bear here. So the name of the game with TF again is those kind of mid-level, you know, small bursty trades. You're looking for that farm, looking to push the wave with your abilities if you have to, and then try and help out other areas of the map. I think I said in my beginner champ guide, you're really kind of like the map support. So, you know, the bottom lane has the ADC and the support, and that's kind of like the support in that one lane, but you're kind of like the whole map support when you play Twisted Fate. Unless you absolutely pop off, then you can probably play him a little bit more bursty, but in general, you're kind of the map support. So here we got a good chance on this Nico. She ran away. She's doing a good job of actually running away from us at the right times here. We hit a minion by accident. We're going to have to flash out of this just to make sure we don't die. That was a misclick. We definitely want to try and gold card her. We missed it. Try and grab this cannon off, and we have our ult up, so so this will give us a good opportunity to try and ult to the bot lane if we can now, and win a fight. You have to gauge the lane that you want to ult. I mean, even right now, if Leona is pushed in, unless she's like really low health, I haven't checked what she's building yet. I should probably do that. But if she's building tanky, like I'm not gonna probably kill that anyway. What's she building? She's building like AP, bursty. It looks like, which is kind of weird. But I mean, let's see. Do I trust Aurelia? Nah, I'd rather go bot here. Again, you want to play around your winning lanes as much as you can, but I don't see anybody for sure yet, so I'm going to use a red card and Q to try and push this wave as fast as possible. Varus? No, it's her. Okay, that was a good dodge up by us. Okay, let's go walk over here. We don't have to use ult yet. Everything's going well. The ult wouldn't have caught anyone out there specifically that these guys wouldn't have gotten, so you don't want to just waste your ult. Again, it's on a fairly long cooldown. You want to make sure you look for good opportunities. Don't let it paralyze you so much so that you never use it, right? If generally for me, I'll definitely use it if I can push a wave, another lane is pushed past the halfway point, and someone's below 50% health. That's kind of like the definitely go ahead for me. But other than that, like I'm going to look to make sure I hold it, because it's almost like keeping the other team gun shy. If they know that you have an ult and you can gank them, then maybe they won't act so crazy in lane. So there's almost like an unwritten rule when you're playing TF. There's like a little bit of respect here. We are absolutely screwed here. Managed to grab one, but I don't think we're going to get out of this. That Nico ultimate was huge. She actually did a good job with the clone there, jumping in. And we were busy talking and trying to push the wave to get that rift into turret. It was almost like a suicide mission there. But let's buy towards our Sheen here, and some more items. I'll pick up an armor for building towards that Zhonya's in a second. The cool thing is we still do have our ultimate, which means that we can use a top laner to get to this dragon if a dragon fight is going to break out. This game started good, but now it's close. I'm going to start walking towards top here. You can see our ultimate range isn't quite enough to get there, but if Leona kills her and she still pushes, we might be able to catch her. Let's see, I'm not going to bother using it. I think Leona's smart enough. Oh, no, she isn't, but she got away anyway. It's okay. We'll pick up the farm top here since we're here. And we'll push this top wave. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get top turret off this. Mordekaiser is here, so I could look to maybe ult to the middle lane and save that turret. But it doesn't look like they're pushing that too hard, actually. We're likely going to see them come top here. But this turret's low enough that I wish Mordekaiser would stay with me here and just knock this down and give me some help. Okay, we grab that. You could use your ultimate to get away. If you were going to get collapsed upon there, you could always use your ultimate to escape. That's another use that you could have for it. When the game gets to mid-game like this, when some towers are knocked down, depending on how the texture of the game is, you could look to be a split pusher in a side lane. I prefer to play mid if I can, if my ADC is not taking all the farm mid, because that gives me a larger portion of the map to be able to ult to. So you can see here now with her how aggressive she's being. Yeah, like you just won't win trades with Twisted Fate against other champions. That's you got to make sure you watch out for that. If you step up, you're extremely squishy, and you're not going to be as bursty as other people. And now you can see when we're at this level of health, it's going to be tougher to ult. So now we're going to have to really rely on our Q for poke here. Okay, that's good. Just use your W to gold card when you can. Even if it's a stun, that's great. Perfect. Right. So you can see there with Twisted Fate, we made sure we stayed far enough away from all the chaos so that we could just keep applying Q poke and stuns. You don't want to ever get too overzealous and be the person trying to like get the last hit and steal a kill for the sake of grabbing a kill, but then you're exposing yourself to death, right? Our scoreline right now is very indicative of the kind of champion that you want to play. If you make good decisions, you can kind of get to two kills here and there. I don't want to. Why am I the one taking turret aggro? I don't understand. Why did I hit him? But 5 assists, right? So Gotta watch out for Nico here. I just want to run, and Kha'Zix as well will be able to assassinate us within one shot here. So we're just gonna back off. Take out this red ward while we're here. Wow. Flash from Nico there. I feel like I might have to stay in lane to hold this tower if they're all going to be pushing mid. But no, they're not. Anyway, yeah, back to the scoreline. So 2 kills, 1 death, and 5 assists. That's good, right? Like, you're doing your job at that point. You're making sure you're assisting other people with kills. You're not adding any deaths to the team and giving away gold. You're just kind of farming up, poking, stunning, that map support that we talked about. Not my favorite style of play, to be honest. Depends on you know, what type of player you are. I like to be a little bit more assassination oriented. Okay, so we got the stun off, which lets Volibear kind of get in there. We just got to make sure we watch out for Kha'Zix here. That's why I'm not ulting to follow right now, because I don't know where Kha'Zix is. And if I ult into a situation where even if I can burst out one of them, but Kha'Zix is there, unless we're going to get an objective off of it, there's no point in just wasting an ult and dying just to grab a kill for the sake of a kill. So now we're going to lock in our gold card here. We're going to follow here. We're going to stay out of sight here for a bit just to make sure this Varus maybe steps up. He does not, so we'll just make sure we lock in this kill here. Wow, it's a great jump by him. These guys are gaming right now. We are in big trouble. Yeah, we're dead. That was tough. I'd say that was poorly positioned by us, but also poorly played by the Mordekaiser to grab the Kha'Zix and not be able to kill him. So I'm looking for an ult here on the overstay, especially with the dragon meetup. So we're gonna die here. But that was a pretty good shutdown. 700 gold shutdown, taking Nico out of the fight is pretty good there. I thought about taking out the Leona, but I was pretty confident our 4-man team was gonna 4v1 that. So I wanted to try and take out the Nico. She was low, had a big bounty. I thought it was worth. Now, generally, once you build your first kind of 2 core items, you'd want to try and build appropriate to the game state. I'm going to still build Zhonya just because I feel Zonya's just so overpowered. I'm not particularly getting like assassinated by Kha'Zix like focus this game, or maybe would have rushed it earlier. It's just more so the active on Zonya is so powerful that, I mean, if you're playing an ability power champ, you probably want to get that item at some point. So we don't have ult for a minute. I'm going to grab this wave top. We have been neglecting farm quite a bit. You can see here, even though we have one of the higher farms in our team, really it's nowhere close to the 10 CS a minute level. We've been focusing more on some of the macro play, so it's not the end of the world, but we definitely want to make sure we stay relevant and get our items. We don't want to fall behind on items. So they're fighting mid again. We don't have ult, or this would definitely be looking for an ult here, but what I am going to do is try and make sure I push this wave out, get as much of this farm as I can, and then slowly start to move towards the turret to hold it. You can hold pushes pretty well with TF if you have enough ability power. Your Q can thin out waves pretty well, and then you can also stop dives because you have your gold card to stun them if they happen to dive. But it looks like they're backing off. Either they're warding Baron or they're going to try it. Either way, I can't really contest, so I'm just going to focus on grabbing my farm right now. If I can get to that Zonya's, we'll be in a much better position to be a little bit more aggressive with how we're playing some of these fights. But we do have a fully stacked Rod of Ages, which is nice. Again, we don't want to step up too far here. If Kha'Zix comes out from the shadows, or even the Nico with her glacial augment, that's going to be troubling. I mean, if she wants to do that, she's going to die. I mean, we basically just caught her off of poor positioning here. Now we're going to ult on this guy. I mean, she gonna steal it? Yeah. The support steals our kill, obviously, or I don't even. Yeah, okay, she's not the support. This is probably Nico, which means we need to run. Oh god, I chose the wrong one. No, I thought that was a clone. I was correct. I'm not going to be able to save you there. You got one shot. There's nothing I can do about that. Is he going to grab that blue? I guess so. Alright. We really can't even step up to her. She can one-shot us with a combo. Again, different kind of champs. You gotta know what your champ is and the strengths and the weaknesses in the different matchups. I can push, or I can clear minion waves at safe distances, so that's what I want to make sure I do. And I can use my ult to impact other lanes. And also use it to stun if the chance presents itself. We gotta make sure we watch out for that. I'm getting a gold card locked in here. I'm gonna try and help from as far away as I can. Good. Alright, so we got both assists on that. That's nice. Top is pushing in. I do not have ultimate to get there, so I'm going to have to just recall to base and try and stop that push there. But it will be within ult range in 20 seconds if stuff's still going down over here. So in 17 seconds, if stuff's still popping off here, we can definitely join in. But we're going to try and run to it right now. We have flash ignite if we need to. Okay, we could not get the flash ignite off. These guys are here. I'm going to try and lock in the W card. Ah, this Lulu keeps stealing my kills, man. It's honestly tilting because I would have a little bit more itemization right now if I could be grabbing some of these kills. Not a great amount of gold, but it's enough. Unfortunately, I used my ult to secure that forest kill, so I can't help on the dragon now. So hopefully these guys can do the dragon because their ADC's off the map. So you can see the Roa is really helping us heal. So if you get to, you know, slightly chunked out, it's not the end of the world with TF. If you have a Rod of Ages in your build, you can get some health back. These guys are missing, so again, with TF, you're always training yourself to be looking at the mini-map once you get that ultimate. You can obviously do it before, but it's obviously a little bit more vitally important once you have ultimate. So when you see everybody missing and you're splitting this TF and you do not have ultimate up, that's kind of like the warning sign to back off.
Always.
We're going to run to mid as fast as we can here, try and help this in case the dive happens. Or in case I guess we engage. I have ult in 20. Just trying to lock in a gold card. But this is not looking good. We're just going to have to play back now. These guys went a bit too ham into a Nico ult. So we're now forced just to try and play wave clear. It sucks that we were just out of range to hit that. Now we're in a position where all we can do is really Q on these waves. I wish that was a stun card that hit. Man, I keep locking in these blue cards. Beauty, that's why you buy that Zanyas, to be honest, right there, man. Just the active is too much to pass up. So we successfully, I guess, held the inner turret there, and we got some kills, which is nice. But we're not quite at the point where we're going to win this game for sure. Kha'Zix is down, and so is their Leona, so we should definitely look to do this Baron here, 5v3, while their jungler's down. That guy's so tempting, but to go and kill. We're 2 levels up on him, and my Ignite's up in 20 seconds, so I feel like that's a good play. If Baron wasn't on the map, I'd definitely be looking for that, but I'm just going to try and lock in this Baron. If Nico comes, though, like, this could easily be turned in their favor. So I'm going to just try and make sure after I keep my gold card ready for her. Okay, awesome, sweet. I don't know what she was doing. I ran by her there a little bit early, just to make sure I could get my gold card and not disrupt her in case she wasn't looking at the screen if she was looking somewhere else. I didn't want to hit her and then kind of set her off a little bit early. So Dragon's not up. The next objective for us really is just to push lanes out with this Baron and not die. I'm going to try and grab this Scuttle though, just to make sure we have some extra vision. And I want to try and make sure I stay off the vision of the map here to help out if someone tries to come in 1v1 that Aurelia down low. These guys should be able to hold lane, but like if this guy comes over here, might be able to burst him kind of hard. I'm just scared that Leona doubles down on us here, so I'm going to back up a little bit. But she's pushing, which is good, so that means my job here is just to hold the mid waves here. But I'm kind of just hovering in between both sides, right? You can see I'm hovering to make sure that they don't know where I am, and then when they go down there for her, I can maybe help her, but I don't want to fight a 2v3. If she comes over here... Man, could not catch up fast enough to throw that in. Who is it? Leona and her. I feel confident. We got Zhonya's up again. I feel confident. I'm going to start pushing a little bit now. Dragon is up in 50 seconds, so we want to stay aware of that. I want to get some wards down too and make sure I can get vision of this Kha'Zix. We have to be careful because of the spooky ghosts from this Nico. That'll just basically get us killed. My gosh, my guy, you gotta ult earlier, man. Can't be giving away Baron buff like that, especially before Dragon. I'm not going in on this. This is a bad fight. And if I die here, we're going to lose a lot. We're going to lose everybody with Baron buff. And they're going to get a Dragon for sure. That was an int, right? You're not going to be able to stop an int from everybody like that. If I was them, I'd definitely be hitting the Dragon. I'm just going to try and keep this this buff alive here. Oh man, if she wants to stay, I mean, I'm down. I'm down to get that 1,000 bounty. I mean, like... So that's what I was talking about before, like you're not going to burst anybody out with TF, but if they get low enough, I mean, your combo definitely can still kill somebody. That was a 1,000 gold shutdown, so that's pretty big. We want to definitely move away towards the top side here, just to make sure we get away safely. But not much to do here. Not much to do other than wave clear mid. We've got no more Baron buff, so that's the classic low elo get Baron, do nothing with it buff. But I suspect the disconnect from Volibear had something to do with that. There is a death cap incoming though. Pick that up, sell the Dorns, and we're going to round of the build with some... where is she? It's a magic pen.
All in the cards.
Nothing really to pick up on the map now, and especially with Volley being disconnected, I'm only really looking to get some farm where it's available. So some of the jungle camps, and if wave pushes up, that's pretty much it. I'm hoping that he's going to reconnect maybe in a minute or so. These guys really need to stop trying to fight. Nice. Nice. Oh, we wasted it. No, just go. Just go down the middle. We got a minion wave coming. We don't even need to go there. Come on, we can get an inhib off this. Look at that damage from the blue card. Oh. Might be able to. Wow, we won with the FF. Great job, great game. Okay, there you go. Twisted Fate, mid lane. How to win, I guess, the 4v5 at the end.